Group of brands designed to support owners, leaders and managers in business. If you're looking to grow your business, contact mybusinessgroup.co.uk today for more information or follow the link in the description below.
And as this is 90 after 90, I want to thank our sponsors, Cosmetic Repair Solutions, an independent award-winning network of vehicle accident repair centres located in Chesterfield, Rotherham, Dinnington, Barnsley and Derby. Get an estimate at cosmeticrepair.co.uk.
Now then, Blades, follow and subscribe to Blades Ramble.
What is happening, Blades, and welcome back to the Blades Ramble. I am, of course, Jimmy, and this is 90 after 90, up to 90 minutes. So we don't have to go the full 90. After the 90 minutes that we've just seen. Now, we're in a very tricky spot as a club and as a fan base, really, because a lot of us, and particularly, again, after today, it's even more likely that it doesn't happen for us this season. So there's now a period of about 8 games where essentially there's not a lot to play for, certainly in terms of competition and where we can get. Obviously, you want to finish as high as you can, but the carrot is no longer there of promotion, which is the one that we all desperately want. It's not completely gone, but I think we are. Let's have a little look actually while we're doing it. So, bringing up the championship table, Wrexham in 6th have played a game less than us. Oh my goodness, we've actually dropped down the league with a point today, but I still think it were a really good result. So Wrexham are 10 points in front of us, and they've played a game less, and we've got 8 games to play. It's not going to happen this season. It's not going to happen. They have to lose 4 and we have to win them all. Yeah, it's not happening. But there were some really interesting, some really positive signs, some concerning signs, as there usually is with Sheffield United. But I found it fascinating to see what happened today. We've done a watch along, myself and Jord Motson. He absolutely carries those streams. And I just sort of read the comments and watch the game. And thank you to Jord for joining us again. Top boy. He's been a long time Rambler, and he's now a huge part of what we do. But it were a really strange game. So I don't normally run through the game because I'm not really that good at remembering it. But how can you? Because that's how my brain works. But how could you forget how the game played out today? So what happened was we started the game. Okay, all right. Bit of to and fro. They came into it a little bit more. I can't remember what minute it was, but Femi Seriki gets sent off. Oh, that's on the wrong thing. Gets sent off in first. Now, how did you feel about this sending off? How did you feel about the red card? Because I thought it was very, very harsh. 23 minutes, Femi Seriki gets sent off. And the word on the street, the slang that the kids are using now is dogso. Dogso. Do you know what that means? Because I didn't. It's denying a goal-scoring opportunity. Shouldn't it be dagso? Anyway, that's whatever. Denying of a goal-scoring opportunity, I think it is. So even then, it should be dogso. But that doesn't roll off the tongue as well. Bindon is covering. It's 2 things to say about this. So the Birmingham player, I forget who it was. It might have been what's his name? The left winger for them. I can't remember his name. Osman, Leon's lad. You definitely want Leon's lad, but I think it might have been Osman that cut inside. Seriki is sort of shepherding him, and he gets wrong side of him essentially, and he dives in. The first point is, don't dive in. When you are trying to stop somebody from scoring and you are running towards your own goal, don't leave the ground or close to leave the ground and dive in and give the referee a decision to make. The question was, hang on, I think that's Mark Meldrew coming in. It is, yeah. I'm going to have to wait, Mark Meldrew. I'm just on my little breakdown to begin with. So you can't give the ref a decision to make, and that's what Seriki's done. And then once Seriki's made the decision to commit the foul, he's relying on other factors getting him out of this last man red card or denying a goal scoring opportunity. Tyler Bindon is running alongside him. That's certainly how it looks on the TV. It certainly looks as though, and I think the direction that the Birmingham player's running, if it is indeed Osman, the direction he's running is towards Bindon's, the way Bindon's running. So Osman's like running diagonally, Seriki's trying to match his run, and Bindon is running directly towards our goal. So although Bindon isn't a speed merchant, he's close enough to be a covering defender, in my opinion. I certainly think it's a free kick. For me, it's a yellow card. No, he's giving me a yellow card. It's a yellow card. He then, obviously, so Seriki walks. Not only that, you're all like, oh, Seriki's played so well for us this season. Yes, he can be inconsistent, but obviously it's a huge blow to go down to 10 and lose one of our better players. He puts the ball down 25 yards out, does Dutch. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And he puts it not quite in the top corner. It was possibly a foot and a half inside the post. Adam Davis will be disappointed with this one. But we know Adam Davis's flaws and things like that. I'm not digging out Davo for this goal, even though I think there's a chance Cooper gets there. We'll never know, ultimately, is the answer. A little bit like we'll never know at the other end of the field, because following this, whether you think Davo should have done better or not, Davo sends it straight down the pipe, and then you don't see, it's not shown on screen what happens, because it's such an inconsequential bit of play. They've got the camera on other players or things like that. So the ball bounces through. You see Clara and Robinson come together as centre halves and duck out of the ball. Both of them think the other one's going to go for it in the duck, or they're both trying to leave it for Beadle. It bounces, and Beadle collects it just before it gets to the byline and sort of walks, either picks it up and then sort of rolls it out to Robinson. And Robbo sort of walks it towards the goal kick spot. He thinks it's a goal kick. He puts his hand on the ball to steady it. Deliberate handball. Puts his hand on the ball and then goes to take it. Bamford's like, oh, ref, open play. He's just handled the ball in the box. Yellow card. I'm not sure how I feel about this. It's a very, very... It's a ridiculous decision from Robinson, first and foremost, who's just not followed the play. And he sort of offers it up on a plate to us. But if you think the Seriki decision's 50-50, then handball in the box, yes, accidental. Is it a red? I don't know. Maybe Gaz can come on and tell us what should have happened there. Either way, Sidi Peck misses the penalty. It's a poor penalty from Sidi. A lot of people are saying, in our watch-along comments, are then saying, why on earth have we got Sidi Peck taking penalties? Well, I'll tell you why. Because he scored the last two penalties he's taken, I believe, and stepped up when we didn't really have anybody that looked like a penalty taker in the side. We now have Harrison Burrows who can take penalties. I think he'd missed one before, which is why Sidi had started taking them. And the big call is Patrick Bamford should be taking these penalties. Immediately, we get Leeds fans in our chat, because we've got a decent-sized Leeds following on the channel now, who say, you don't want Bamford taking pens. He missed his last two for Leeds. So we'll never know, ultimately, whether Pat would have scored. A lot of people will say, of course he would, because he's a lot more composed and he's a better finisher than City, but you don't actually know, do you? So that's the way it plays out. And at this point in the game, you're thinking, well, that's it. Not only is that it for the season, absolutely, but that's it for the game. Things are just not going our way. 10 men away at Birmingham, who are a good side in the division. They're not brilliant, but they're a good side. Same as us, really. Same as us. And that's no disrespect to them. And it's disappointing to say that for us, but that's exactly where we are as a club at the moment. And as a squad, we should be doing better with the individuals we have, and we're not. But then I thought we started to play better with 10 men. It's like the adversity gave us a shot in the arm. And just before half-time, Patrick Bamford scores. It's a great ball from Harrison Burrows. He takes a lovely touch, does Bamford, to take it round a ridiculously oncoming Jeremy Beadle in goal, who dives thinking he's Peter Schmeichel and looking like Betty Schmeichel, takes it round her and just slots it into the goal. A lovely, calm, composed finish from Bamford, who had been quiet, I thought, up until that point. But again, when you've got somebody that can do what he can do, with no one else like him in the squad now, he is our best striker by a distance, I would say. And it was disappointing because obviously Danny Ings had started, and I forgot to mention this bit really, but Danny Ings had started. He was the sacrificial lamb that came off when Kiana Hoover had to come on due to the Femi Seriki red card. And then second half, it were a bit of much of a muchness. You'd expect them to control the possession, and they did, but didn't really do too. Like I say, they didn't really do too much with it. I think they hit the post twice and hit the crossbar twice. But I never thought they're loads better than us. So they'll feel hard done by in terms of, being very close to scoring at different points. But I honestly thought we could have scored a couple as well. We could have been... Patrick Bamford had an header from 3 yards out that he nods directly at Jeremy. So it's, one of them really. A game where he sort of puts a bit of pride back into the shirt. And something I thought were really interesting, when we were trying to defend this lead, and not only defend the lead, when we were trying to secure this result, and I also think there were an element of going for it, something that we've been nudging for a little bit, he moved to 3 at the back. Now, he's done this before, and it doesn't mean it will be our formation going forward, but something I want to have a chat about tonight with some people that are on the line and some people that will be in the comments. Are you up for thinking about and using these next 8 games for things like formation changes and what works for us as a squad? I would love to certainly see a bit more of Leo Hjelde, but I wouldn't mind us having a cheeky little offer to sign him because he looks really good to me whenever he's come on. And if we are going to start playing a back 3, Tanganga in the middle, Bindon on the right, Hjelde on the left, and then it's going to be Hoover for the next 3 games and Burrows at wing back, I think we might be onto something. You can then have 2 in the middle, Callum O'Hare in the 10, and 2 up top. Or you can have 3 in the middle, Callum O'Hare and Bamford. Whatever you want to do, I think there's certainly room to have that discussion. So I'm excited. Really, this is what sort of excited is a stretch, but I am really. I like the fact that we could see something fresh next year rather than trying to push forward with something that's been quite clunky all season. Because yes, we've had some great performances in the 4-2-3-1 and the 4-4-2, but have we really had the players for it? Both formations rely on wingers, and if you look at our squad, we've got 1. If you want to count Dave Chong and Ogbeni, then you can say we've got 3. But that's all on the right-hand side for 1. And I don't think Chong and Ogbeni are the type of, or the level of player that we'd be looking at anyway. We've got 1 that we're legitimately comfortable with, and that's Andre Brooks. So if we are going to stick with these formations, you need a winger. But you look at the squad composition at the moment as it stands. All our fullbacks, Kiana Hoover, Femi Seriki, Sam McCallum, Harrison Burrows, are all comfortable and some would say better as a wing-back than a full-back. And wingers, in terms of wingers, which we need for the 2 systems that we've been operating this season, we've got 1 that we're comfortable with. Gosema does play out there, but then we're fudging Callum O'Hare out there, who's much better as a 10. I think we're onto something here, and I know people think it's reverting to type and going back to past, like going backwards because we've used the formation before. But football is cyclical, and I understand that his logic was, well, a lot of teams now play the 4-2-3-1, and if you're going to get promoted, which we're not, by the way, if we're going to get promoted, then that's the way a lot of teams play in the Premier League, and we want to be able to be sustainable there. Well, let's not flick forward 5 pages. Let's look at what Wrexham are doing, who are also playing 3 at the back. And how's it going for them? Because they've got an average group of players, and I don't say that lightly, and they play to a formation that suits their strengths. And look at what it's doing for them. They play a 3-4-2-1 or a 3-4-3. However you want to badge it up, they play 3 then 4. And it works for them because they've got the players that suit the system. And so have we. So have we. Right, I'm going to get into your comments. We're going to get rocking and rolling. I'll get to the calls as well. But before we do, from our sponsor. Do you want your favourite replica shirts for the World Cup? Check out okjersey.com. It's high quality jerseys starting from just £15. I love mine. From modern day shirts to the old classics that we all love. Use the code RAMBLE at the checkout to get 8% off your order. Get ready for the World Cup in style. And thank you to OK Jersey for their support of the Ramble. OK Jersey doing us an absolute solid there. Thank you to them for their support. I'll knock that off so every time I don't come back to this screen it don't play again like I've been falling victim of previously. Right, let's get into some comments then. Who gets us started off tonight? It's Batman. Batman Lucy is going to keep this bunged up head off YouTube for tonight. Needs to get rid of the lurg before Monday morning and the return of a certain show. Good battling point today. Yes, thank you, Batman, for the nudge to plug. For those that haven't caught it or aren't aware, we are relaunching properly Ramble FC next week. So we have done a bit of a soft launch with a new logo and a little bit of a new feel to it. And we are fully relaunching from Monday, where Top 20 Takes gets a revamp. That's coming out at 6 o'clock on Monday. All Aboard the Championship will be released on Tuesdays at 8. I believe we'll be live for that. And Football Therapy will be Wednesdays at 8. So keep it there, and all your favourite, a load of watch-alongs as well, a load of familiar faces from the Ramble. So if you're not already, then do get on to Ramble FC and support us over there as well. We just need to keep turning up like that, like that, and continue our build into next season. Start from a position of strength and positivity from August. Well done, Blades. Up all the Rambles, up the Blades, up the Hulkster, Andy the Blade. Bryce says we welcome everyone into the Blades Ramble chat and want everyone here to feel comfortable to air their views. All we ask is that you keep it clean and be nice to each other. Respect others' views, please. Yeah, we've no rules, but just be nice. Don't be an idiot. Just let other people have their say and don't judge them for it just because it's different to yours. Thank you, Bry. Please remember the Blades Ramble is a family channel. Keep the chat clean and friendly. Whilst we are happy to see all views, antagonistic or inflammatory remarks or comments, and the user will be removed. Bry is the man with the power. Bry and Ian and others that keep our chat clean. Thank you very much for the work you do. Jack says, honestly, United needs studying. When we're in the driving seat, we struggle, but as soon as a decision is made against us like that, we put in a fight. What a point. Very poor from Brum. Silly foul by Femi. However, the refs shouldn't be getting that wrong. Props on Wilder for the formation change and subs. Gave him some stick last time. Really happy with that. Get as much from the season as we can. Liked what I saw from Cannon. Felt sorry for Ings. Love Peck, but our top goal scorer should be on pens, which is Bamford. Get as many points as we can. Shout out for a back three. I agree. Ian says, battling point after a bizarre first half, which could easily have seen us 3-1 up. From a personal point of view, need to batter Disney and I can make peace with the season. Like and subscribe, please. Top man, Ian. Top man. Jack says, start the rebuild 2.0 and stop buying unfit players. Fair. Fair. Paul says, I think the referee had a shocking game, having to talk to the linesman who was 40 yards away for the sending off. And then the referee and linesman didn't see the handball and all the soft bookings. John, I hope you're okay, my mate. The Fopster says, I'm still reeling from that rousing rallying call summary from Gaz the other day. What a masterpiece that was. I'm hoping the man in black joins us tonight because there are a few controversial decisions to go over, but I'm not sure of his whereabouts or what he's up to. I'm sure we'll get hold of them at some stage. We're also considering having a show dedicated to Gaz and his refereeing calls on Ramble FC. So we'll have like a weekly checkpoint of controversial decisions within both the Premier League and the Championship. Going to be really good. Good afternoon from Lakeland, Florida, says Kev. Good afternoon, my mate. Hope you're well. Cannon came on and walks around the pitch, not closing down. He offers nothing to his action location. If we hadn't got Bamford, we would be in a relegation dogfight. Jord Matson, the man on the mic. If we think Seriki's read his bad wait till you see Millwall's absolute shocker from the ref. 2 players back covering, and he gives a red. Blackburn player was going away from goal. Oh, my word. Robbo's handball was not Dogso, apparently. Directly. Does it have to be directly opposing a goal-scoring opportunity? Does it have to be a red card, or is handball in the area? I suppose. Deliberate handball, though, it's touched. I don't know. I'm probably being harsh, but it's ridiculous from Robinson, isn't it? So glad he's gone. Paddy at it again, says MW. Crossbar, man of the match, closely followed by Adam Davis for me. Yeah, I thought Davo did well today. Tony says, I was once so depressed that I could not even be bothered going to the toilet and would defecate myself and not shower for weeks on end. It was a really low point in my life, but I'm doing better now. Wrong chat. Hey, we're here for all that sort of conversation. Listen, if you need help, seriously, I know you're joking, and it was in jest. But if you ever need some support, mate, we are here. We are a chat about that as well. Well done. Ian says, am I the only one who likes Hoover? I think he's a right wing back, mate. There's potential there. I think he's going to go for the 3-5-2 next season, to be fair, says Adam. And Dave Haig says, players we have available leans to a 3 at the back. Finish the season with that, then start afresh next season. Completely agree. It's mental that Leicester could go down. It's crazy, isn't it? Jimmy, I think it's 1 game ban for Seriki, not 3. A straight red's normally 3, I believe. But again, let's get the man in black on and see if he can confirm. I agree, Jim, says Jack. Very unlikely we get to the playoffs, so why not play around with this formation? 3 at the back suits the majority of players. We have 4 strikers, but don't play 2 up top, and 1 winger. Just pick a formation and build for it. A lot of managers usually say, play to your strongest team, don't they? Play to what you've got. And rather than try and make a formation fit, why would you try and squeeze it in? I don't get it. Why would you try and make something fit when you've got a formation there that players could succeed in, essentially? So, right, we're going to move to our first caller now. Without any further ado, been waiting very patiently. It is our mate. It's Russ. How's it going, pal?
Good evening. I'm all right, mate. Yeah, enjoyed it today, that.
Yeah, decent that, weren't it? What were your thoughts on that game and performance, pal?
I thought it was very workmanlike, good structured. Everybody did their jobs, and the game were there for taking if various things would have happened. And while I remember, man of the match, Adam Davis. Yeah,
he's played well, hasn't he? He's played well.
Really pleased for him.
Has he actually got the man of the match? Is that?
I don't know.
All right, okay. It'd be nice if he had, because I think it's a real confidence boost for him. So, a fair few things to discuss tonight, Russ, with what's happened in a very eventful game for one apiece. First of all, the Femi Seriki red card. Do you believe it's a red?
I can understand why it was when I've seen it back. If Bindon had have been another half a yard, maybe more advanced, ref might have been all right with that. But it looked very square, probably from referee's position, and I can see why it were given.
Yeah, we can see why it was given. That's fair.
Would VAR have overturned it? Possibly not either.
Maybe not. I'd be interested to hear whether, because I think it's harder to get one overturned if it's 60-40 or something like that. So it's one of those. I'm afraid is unfortunate, and that obviously put us on back foot. At that point, we had to restructure, which we did well. To be fair. I thought so too. Why did we look better with 10 men?
That's the perennial question.
It don't make sense.
It must be something that's within players. It's a switch that puts them into more of a preservation mode. So they're probably doing the basics more diligently and maybe not being as adventurous, but certainly just trying to keep it strong, keep it tight. You would hope that that's the case, because that's what a professional should do. They regroup and then see what managers wants them to do. At that point, where they pull somebody off. Felt sorry for Danny Ings, actually. A great opportunity.
Yeah, I did.
I've got a question for you. If Danny Ings had been on the pitch, would he have taken the penalty?
No.
Even though, no. Okay.
I don't think he would, because I think City's are deemed our penalty taker because he scored the last 2 pens.
Yeah.
I think it's a case of you keep the lad on until... I think the way we work it, I'm not saying this is the way it should be. I think it's the way we work it is that we're not going to take him off
Just an extension of that question then. Danny Ings and penalties. Your perception is that he's a penalty taker. He's got a good record.
Yeah, I would perceive it that way.
It's a bit of a trick, this, because I know the answer. I did look it up just before we came on.
Okay.
He's only ever taken 16 penalties in his career. He's missed 3 of them, so scored 13.
Oh, is it?
I had a feeling that he was, everywhere he went, he was the prolific penalty taker.
Yeah, I'd have thought so too.
I was surprised to see that stat.
Because he is notoriously a good finisher, isn't he? Which you generally associate with a decent penalty taker. Yeah. Same as Patrick Bamford was being called for to take the penalty, and it's very easy to say that after the fact, I think. Yeah. But Leeds fans were straight on saying he's missed his last 2 penalties for Leeds, so he's not a dead cert either to score.
No, fair play to and City missed it. Well, we were poor, and he'll learn hopefully from it. He's a player that does learn. He learns from lots of the little details.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's quite astute into as a growing footballer.
Quite interesting.
Another big one to ask you, Russ, is I think we had a lot of our success when we showed up going to. It won a 3-5-2 or a 3-5-1 essentially. But what were your thoughts on going back to a 3 at the back formation and that potentially going forward now to have a little look at it?
Jim, this is a question. This is a subject that I've wanted to have a really good long conversation about.
Okay.
So I'd love to be involved in something going forward, a show about that.
Okay, mate. Okay.
It goes back a long way. It goes right back to bringing Hecky into the club and to putting the 3-5-2 philosophy all the way through the system.
Yep.
And even though we move on a few years, we've not addressed that, and we're still producing wing backs. And I think there's been 2 occasions in the last 3 years where Wilder was planning and building to go 3 at the back and then couldn't get the bodies in that he needed. He couldn't get enough centre halves in by deadlines and has had to then scrap that and go, because otherwise you would have brought in orthodox fullbacks. Yeah. And you'd be producing them and you'd be coaching them as well.
Do you still think that's been the case since he's returned this time as well? He's trying to
get
the right bodies in for
I think he's looked at it in so much as, have I got enough numbers? The thing is, you've got to have enough centre halves to play it on a regular basis, haven't you, because of injury, etc. And you probably need 5/6.
Well, we've got 5, haven't we,
to cover 3. But he's never been able to rely on them, any of them, for either being competent enough, probably, or fitness. I did suspect that when Ben Mee came in, we might have gone that way. But I think he's looked at his fitness, and I just don't think you can't afford to do it and get everybody playing it and then suddenly find yourself with only 2 centre halves fit. And then you're starting to make full other people fit in it and what have you, and discovering new Bashams maybe. But anyway,
exactly. Yeah.
No, I do think there's always been a willingness from him to lean that way, but I just think circumstances haven't allowed it. And I'd be very interested to see how we go for this.
I would too.
Very, because it excites me. I like the system. I know it's a bit of an outlying system now throughout football at the moment. 4-2-3-1's the way to go, but it still can be successful 3 at the back, and even if it ends up being 3-4-3 or whatever. I am excited now. I look forward to talking about this one.
We had our most successful times in recent years playing the 3-4-1-2, the old 18-19 season where it were Mark Duffy the 10 and Basham and O'Connell overlapping, Stevens and Baldock either side getting up and down. And I just think
and it's very easy to be accused of looking at that through rose-tinted glasses.
Of course it is,
and I have to be careful because I'm a sentimental soul. So, I've got to get myself, give me head a wobble sometimes. But, just looking at it from a tactical point of view, there's no reason why it shouldn't work. It does work for some teams. It's about the personnel. It's down to personnel. And you can have the best 11 in the world, but if the system don't work, it's not going to happen. So, I'm really excited about that. I thought I thought Burrows, he did put a right shift in today. They really did put a right shift in.
Yeah, I did too. I did too. I thought he worked hard. I thought
Looks-
Helder looked really good when he came on as
did.
well. Really
Thinks he was dead
solid.
on his feet. Hoover had a good game. He looked as the game went on. I think as that second half went on, he just seemed more. He seemed more assured.
He's much better in the 3-5-2, I think, because he's a wing back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, I completely agree, mate.
It's all there. The pieces are there. Just there's not enough of them at the moment. So I'm with you all the way, mate, on that.
Top man, I've just had a message on behalf of the man in black, Gaz done.
Chris Wilder. Oh, sorry.
Oh no,
Gaz,
sorry.
Gaz
even more important, the man in black. I won't tell you what he said, but he can't come on because he's 7 pints deep. So he's not going to come on and give his opinion live tonight. But we'll get that some other time. So yeah. Anyway, we'll leave it there. Russ, anything else you want to say, pal, before I let you
go? I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged. Those results last night and today, Coventry game, I watched that. Southampton were good. Wrexham dug it out again last night.
Yeah, they did.
That makes for a very interesting reading up at the top. And unfortunately, we dropped those 6 points, which meant that we weren't still in in touching distance. So, but we move on. Mate.
We move on, pal. Well, thank you for joining me, mate. Thanks for starting us off tonight, and I'll catch up with you soon.
Absolutely. Take it easy, mate.
Cheers, mate. You too. Top man. Thank you, Russ. Always great to get Russ on and have his opinion. I think he speaks really well and knows the game. Let's have a look at who else is saying what. Where did I get to? Someone mentioned double jeopardy for Robbo's handball, Jim. You're probably right, Bri, because we got the penalty awarded. It was seen as enough of a punishment. That's what double jeopardy tends to mean. And yeah, that's possibly right. Steve Snell says, got to appeal the red. The ref's poor, like when he booked Davis for the goal kicked position in injury time. Also, Tanganga can't keep his mouth shut. Time for a change of captain/leader. I don't think he's a captain, Tanganga. And I got a lot of stick, not from anybody in this chat particularly, and I'm not blaming anyone individually, but I remember getting a lot of pushback by saying this early doors as well, that I don't think Tanganga's a captain. And it doesn't mean I don't think he's a good player. I just wonder if it weighs a bit heavy on him, the captaincy. So he doesn't appear to be a natural leader. You can be a leader in different ways. You don't always have to be vocal, like a Chris Morgan, who I thought were brilliant on comms today, by the way, because I could hear him very faintly as we were watching our watch along as well. Poor position for the ref in injury time. Yeah, sorry, I've just read that. Rich says, hi Jimmy, apologies if this is a silly question. With Gaz being a ref, does he talk to the head of referees? I'm not too sure how often he speaks to the head of referees, pal. Gaz always tends to play it down in terms of his involvement, but he is a licensed official, which we are really pleased to have that access. I'm not sure is the honest answer, Rich. But next time we speak to him, we'll ask him that question. I'm sure he's spoken to him before, but on a regular basis, I'm not sure. Would 3 at the back suit our defensive line, and it may add a lot more physicality in there? Yeah, possibly. I think what it does is when you haven't got a lot of physicality, which we haven't in our back two, then it just adds that little bit more security, doesn't it? So I don't mind it at all. Another red card for flip's sake, says the Saint. Dan says, can you ask us about the encroachment from the pen? Just seen the replay and half their team is in the box before the kick is taken. Can you imagine? There's so much to unpick in there with that. Jack says Ings would won the pen against Hull and he doesn't take it, but it's never a red. Okay, Jack. Adam says 10 men. The mentality switches because they know if we get punished, we're going to go mental. The fact our players have caused a muck-up, so they're trying harder to be watertight, and we definitely need anyone to actually start commanding the team in the right way on the pitch, so that mentality is there from the get-go, i.e. be proactive, not reactive. The leadership is missing to keep players pushing. Yes, Jimmy and Ross, mate. It's Russ, but I'm sure he'll take Ross. Does Ross a YouTube channel? No. He appears on Ramble FC fairly regularly as well. He's a platinum Ramble mate, and he's very valued within our community, but I don't think he's got his own channel now. We weren't the only team that got bad decisions today. The ref in the Millwall game was horrid, apparently, says Jack. Yeah, I've heard the same. Alessandro says, just never felt a red card, though. Seriki wins the ball. The slip is after the accidental. I hope we look to appeal it up the Ramble. Jack says, on the subject of subs, is it a coincidence that Wilder gets the subs and the game management bang on as soon as we go to a back three? What I haven't heard, and I haven't seen him commenting tonight after he was very quick to comment after Norwich, is Dave Webster around or anything like that? I don't mind anyone having an opinion on Wilder in or Wilder out, but you can't just show up on a fair weather day when it suits your narrative. Do you give Wilder praise for the changes today? Because people are very quick to jump on him for the subs. I was also questioning the subs at Norwich. Why didn't he bring Sidney Peck off instead of Gyro? But today, he switched the formation, and I think he's got it bang on. So you have to give him credit where it's due as well. And I think a lot of Blades are doing that tonight in our comment section, but we've seen it previously, haven't we, where it's like the done thing to jump on Wilder, and he did get very prickly about it as well, to be fair. Evening, Jimmy, says Alex, we'd have took that after going 1-0 down and down to 10 men. Absolutely right. 50 points, job done, finish as high as we can and go again next season. Can't believe I'm saying this, but relieved to be safe from League One. Don't worry about that. Dan says, I reckon even 7 pints deep that Gaz could have reffed that better, but take a 1-1 away with 10 men all day long. I agree with the view that for the final 8 games, says Alessandro, we should switch to a back 3 and wing backs. 3-5-2, see how it goes, up the Blades. And 4 Prem in a row. This tells me you haven't watched the game today. Adam Davis is so bad. Now, look, you can have your opinion on Adam Davis overall as a goalkeeper. I think he's found wanting with a lot of qualities you would want for a top keeper at this level. It's a very polite way of saying I don't think he's a good championship goalkeeper. However, he has not really... I think he's been good since he's come in for Michael Cooper. I don't think he's been brilliant, but he's not really put a foot wrong. I think you've got to give Adam Davis credit, and a lot of people are saying he was man at match today. So I appreciate being a Prem account specifically. You probably haven't seen our game today, but I thought he did well again today. So fair play to Davo for putting some of the doubters to bed. Right, let's get into our next caller. Without any further ado, it is Mr. Bisto himself. It's Brett. How's it going, pal?
Hi, mate.
I'm very well, mate. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. All right.
You feeling
better
all
after
right?
seeing that.
Yeah, better after seeing that. Exactly, mate. Exactly. What were your thoughts on the game then, first of all?
Like I said, I think it were a bit up and down until red card. I think it were a bit 50-50. Could have really gone anywhere, to be fair.
Yeah.
They were just getting on top. I think they had the better chances before that. Obviously, when we went down to 10 men, which me and the man in black have been discussing it. I think we're in agreement for once.
Are you really?
Never been a red card in a million years.
I don't think so.
And the thing is, with stuff like that, there's always a rule that they can dig out and say, well, if it's not a player that's too close, he's too far away. I didn't feel he was close enough, because it's all about interpretation at referee. But if that goes the other way, and that's a Birmingham player making a last-ditch tackle,
Yeah.
we don't get that decision. You don't, and I'm not saying that it will like bias, but I don't think we do. I think there is, like with Birmingham's and Wrexham's, they tend to get decisions like 50-50s a lot more easily than we do.
Interesting. I don't know.
It's the other thing as well. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't think that's a red card. I think there's hardly any contact. He don't get the ball. He does make contact with attacker, but it's not a lot of contact. It takes attacker 4 steps before he goes down. Afterwards, you've got a player he's not far off him at all. He's going in his direction. That's not a red card. But the other thing is, do you bother appealing it? It's a 3-game. Obviously, if it's a straight red, it's a 3-game ban. But how often do they get overturned?
Very rarely.
I don't think it's a red card. I can't see how they've did it. But then I don't see point in appealing it because they never overturn it. They'll always back the referee.
Possibly. I thought the referee had a poor game, to be honest. And I would like to have a chat with Gaz when he's able to. When he's able to have a chat with me. But
look at our handball. He weren't even going to see that. We had to basically Bamford had to go and basically drag him across to show him.
I know.
So
your boy steps up to take the penalty. You are, for those that don't know, Brett is City Peck's biggest fan.
Yep.
Biggest fan. You've backed him from the very start. We're talking Mr. Vancouver Callum O'Hare levels here, aren't we? So I know you still do, as do I, mate. And there's no one poor penalty, a couple of average to below average performances does not make a poor player at all. But do you think this affects him in any way? Do you think he can just power through it, or what's your thoughts? He's still a young player, isn't he?
Yeah, I think anybody else it could, but I don't think it'll affect Peck. Like, the reason he's taking penalties, like you say, it's good way. If you're looking back, hindsight, you can probably say don't take it because he's missed it, but you're never guaranteed a penalty. There's no thanks for a penalty because you deemed that you've got to score it. So you score, it's what you should have done. You miss.
Yeah, exactly.
And to be fair, I think that with penalty takers, it's less finishing and more confidence. And I think that's why Peck does it, because you never see him short of confidence. I've never seen him other than, Sayers, first 2 games of the season when he were left in middle on his own.
Oh, mate.
That looked lost that way.
Yeah, that's often forgotten about now, though, isn't it? That how bad we were, and then we lose that game under Ruben Sayers 100% because there's no belief in the side to come back.
Didn't they beat us 5-0 under Ruben Sayers? With them or at Leicester beat us.
It was Leicester, I think. Yeah.
Oh no,
it wasn't Leicester.
Birmingham were armour, wasn't it, when he scored from halfway line?
But yeah, they were 2-1 that. 2-1, I think. Mate, 3 at the back. What are you thinking?
I'd have it all day. I think if it's whatever works. Like I think, like Russ says, it's the personnel you've got. If we can get people that are good enough for it, and we do have players that will play certain positions good that way. Like I think if we went 3 at back, we're wing backs. Harrison Burrows and Seriki are born and bred for that role.
I agree. Even Hoover and McCallum as well. I think it works.
Yeah. That's the thing. I think we need to find just another solid mobile centre back. I think because as much as I like Bindon, I can't see Bindon. I can't see stumping off enough money for Forest to let us have him. I do like.
Wilder was sort of intimating in his presser that he'd be available for loan next season if Forest stay up.
I'd take him back on loan then. Yeah,
I would.
If I can get him, he's there. But I do like Elder when he came on. I think he looks a solid player.
He does.
Nothing fancy, but does a job. He's not like a bomb scare. You just see Robinson 1-on-1 and you'd have to be in your mouth.
I was gutted when they took him off at half time.
Well, my dad rang me up at half time and he says, "Have you been watching it?" Because he watch along. He'd not seen it stream.
Good lad, God. Good lad.
He's always there. And he was saying about. I was telling him about red card. I said, "I don't think it is. I can't see it." But Robinson, like you said, when he picked it up, he puts his hands on the ball. So, like I say, unless it's a double jeopardy, which is the only thing I can see why he ain't got red. But and he says, I said, but he's still on a yellow. So, I mean, as a Sheffield United fan, we know that's the last thing you want, isn't it? Play a full 45 minutes and Robinson on a yellow.
He's right. And Davis obviously agreed. Birmingham manager. So
we were all saying, I bet he comes off. I bet he takes him off at half time. You would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would.
But I think, like I say, I would go to it if we can get players for it. It, like I say, it depends on wingers as well.
But what about now, though, till end of season? Would you like to see it employed as a formation we try because of the squad that we've got, or would you still stick with the 4 at the back?
I'd try it now. To be fair, I think I'm more of we ain't going to make playoffs now, which I'm not as bothered about as long as we finish strong. But I'm not bothered as long as if there's a formation that Wilder wants to try, or he's got kind of the envision of what he's going to do, even if it's pre-season. I think we'll do it, but it's the players. I think what we have to do now is look at the players we're going to have and what kind of system we can get into and stuff. Like, to be fair, my dad only rang me at half time to moan about the fact that how unlucky is Danny Ings. He loves Ings. Like,
he is
when
unlucky.
come
My
off,
dad were pleased that Ings were getting a chance today as well. He'd even put it in comments, and lo and behold, he's the one to be sacrificed. You could understand it though. They want anybody else. He's got to blame Seriki for that. Nobody else.
Yeah.
As Ings.
Well, and to be fair, like I say, it's hard to blame Seriki. It weren't a red card, but yeah, like I said to my dad,
Don't give him a decision to make.
Yeah, but you're a defender. Every time you tackle somebody, there's always a decision. I know that he's mistimed it and he's not got the ball, which is what he's guilty of. But it's not a red card. It's not like he's missed ball and he's hit him at 30 mile an hour and broke him in half.
If there's no Bindon there, it's a red card all day long. I think it's not a red card because Bindon's covering.
It's only but I'm saying it's not a tough tackle though, is it? Like I'm not saying
don't have to be though when the
straight red.
Don't have to be
because it's covering, isn't it?
Yeah, it don't have to be a tough tackle.
It's a denied goal scoring opportunity, which is because he's last man.
That's right.
But he's not last man. I know what you mean, but yeah, you can blame him, but he's defender. You're going to get them kind of last ditch tackles. When they come off, they look amazing. When they don't, you're slating him for ages. So, and we all know Seriki. His attacking play outweighs his defensive play all day long.
Yes, I would agree with you there, my mate. I'm certainly.
But yeah, like I don't think we did bad. I think it was a proper Sheffield United performance. We battled. I mean, I'd have killed to have Morgan back in there, listen to him on comms.
Yeah, I know. Can you imagine?
He'd have got him worked up.
Brett, anything else you want to say, my mate, before I let you go?
No, just stick with Sidney. It'll come good.
We will, of course. If we get a chance to stick with him, because I think this. Do you think this is his last season with us, mate?
Yeah, I think Players Awards. I might be giving him a goodbye.
Oh, give him a big kiss. All right then, pal. Speak to you soon.
See you later, mate.
Cheers, mate. Ta-da. Top man, Brett. Thank you for joining us, mate. As always. Right, where were we in the comments? Davo's our man of the match today, says Bright. Jack says Wilder does get the credit. I just feel like after that Prem side, Wilder tried to prove he can play other formations when it's built for a back three. He said it himself last season, even saying he can use different formations. Personally, give Peck a little rest and give Blaster some minutes, possibly. Question, says Tex. Who dresses in black and likes to tell people they are wrong and are 100% corrupt? The answer is not priests either, more bent than any MPs. Wow, that is very close to the knuckle there, Paul. Thank you for making me read that out loud without processing it. I think you mean referees are corrupt. Is that what you're saying, Tex? Graham says, Wilder in, but have to get shut of the sick notes as well as a couple of top players. We will sell, go again, up the blades. I think we will get rid of the sick notes. I think it's going to be a clear the decks sort of summer, hopefully. Today's referee, Tim Robinson, is a qualified Premier League referee. He's had a shocker today, says Sheila's Wheels. Steele says it's a bit of a soft red card. Need to get rid of the players that are underperforming. Or would you say that is Steele? Who in your opinion, is underperforming? Adam Davis did a good job today, says Graham. Ref was shocking. About time FA sorted its house out and vetted the refs. Up the blades, up the ramble, like and subscribe. Jed says Jimmy Tanganga must be stripped of the captaincy. Ian says, I remember Billy, Norwood and many others missing penalties. It happens. That's true. Very true. JBC says, told you earlier we can never finish off 10 men. Thought you deserved the point simply because we can't finish the game off. All the best for the rest of the season. Cracking channel. Thank you, my mate. And thanks for joining us today. Appreciate that. And all the best to you boys as well. Cheers, JBC. Keep popping in, mate. We love your company. Jed says, Jimmy Tanganga must be stripped to the captaincy. He's a hot-headed liability, which ultimately sets the tone for the rest of the team. Poor captain. Sky reporter said she thought Seriki got most of the ball, says Bry. Yak says, felt like having a heart attack that first half. It was a roller coaster. My favourite player, Femi, red card. Peck misses a pen goal. 1-0 up. Equaliser, then at half-time whistle. I'm there in shock, but we march on for that top half position. Up the blades, up all the rambles. Since Sky had Wrexham on for their game, imagine Blades Ramble commentary. It would be sick. It's Joe. Need to change my name on this. No worries, Joe. Thank you, my mate. Jack says, just seemed to thrive in adversity. Went into half time and all the way through the second half thinking we nick it. Jamie Dumpling just woke up and missed the match. Seems like, considering the circumstances, a good point and could have won. Absolutely right, Dingo Dumpling. Crossbar says, Yak, what a player he is when subbed on for the 5 at the back. Man of the match for me. Haha. Okay. Thanks, Yak. Right, let's get to our next caller, who's been waiting very patiently, as always. It's the man, the myth, the legend. Dave Morwood, how's it going, pal?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I enjoyed that.
It was a good game, wasn't it?
It was a good game, spoiled by the referee.
Yes.
And
Nice.
I've just heard your last comment about him being a Premier League referee.
Yeah, the one that Sheila had put on that he's a Premier League ref.
Then I think for his next game, he should referee as Gaz Dunn runs the line in whatever Gaz is running.
Northern Premier League.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. It was awful, mate. Absolutely.
He was bad, weren't he, today? I thought, he had a disappointing game, unfortunately. We don't like digging him out, but...
No, but, it's when they make a mistake, it's obvious.
Yeah.
And he made quite a few.
Yeah, he did. He did.
It was never a red card.
No, I don't think so. Well, because Pinton's covering.
Opinion,
Yeah.
it was never a red card. The Adam Davis booking was ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree.
Because he'd let a few tackles go from the Birmingham players, and then he booked Adam Davis in like the 93rd minute or something.
I thought the Tanganga booking was daft as well. There were a few decisions that just didn't make much sense, to be honest. So,
but hey, we got a point.
We got a point in the face of adversity.
Yeah, the display was a battling blades performance.
It was. Did it change your mind on the mentality of the team or any players individual, Dave? Anybody that stood out and you thought, actually, you've done well today, lad?
All 10 of them, man.
Yeah.
All 10 of them. They seem to go above and beyond.
Yeah,
I think somebody said in the comments, didn't they, that we get down to 10 men and they raised the game up.
Yeah.
They were everywhere.
It's true. What do you think to 3 at the back?
I'd sooner go 9 at the back myself.
I think we need that, don't we? We need that most games, at the minute.
Well, looking at it today, Henry, as he's fondly called, looks a lot better when forward.
As a wing
we
back?
Know Burrows, as a wing back. We know Burrows is probably better at a wing back.
Yeah.
Henry,
wing back.
I almost said we should play him, as a wing back. So I would go with it. Maybe you could go with like 3-4-2-1, or you could go 3-5.
Yeah.
1-1.
Yeah, you could. There's different ways of playing it, isn't there? There's different ways, and we've got a team where you can shift it around a little bit as well and move it around. And Lee's talked about this before.
If you play 3 at the back, you've got Helder who looks good. He can cover Burrows going forward.
I agree.
I agree. And whether you have Bindon or Tanganga on the right, they can cover.
They can all shift across, can't they?
Yeah, they can all move across and leave 8 in the middle, whatever.
I like it. So we've got Disney FC coming up next. Would you like to see us start with a 3 at the back against those boys?
I would, because they use the wing, don't they? They use
they
the
do.
wing back.
Yeah, they do.
I'd like to push them back a little bit. And
it's interesting. It's very interesting.
It's good, like you said. We can have so many options. We can play with just 2 in the middle, and 1 and 2. And
before I let you go, Dave, I don't think I've spoken too much about this, but Danny Ings got a start today, and obviously he's been really unlucky with having to be the sacrificial lamb coming off when Femi gets sent off. What are your thoughts on Ings? Were you happy when you saw him in the lineup? Do you think it's last chance saloon for him because he probably don't get another contract in the summer if he can't make an impact at this stage? What are your thoughts on Ings?
I put in the comments regarding this team, surprised to see Ings in there.
Yeah.
We support the boys,
Yeah.
So, but it was a shame he got took off. And I think it's probably my opinion, but City had to wait a long time to take that penalty.
Yeah. True.
I know he wasn't. It was like Harrison Burrows that had got the ball, and City was away somewhere. And I just think it was. You've seen it many times. So often, players are made to wait and wait and wait. And then you end up like that guy did at African Nations.
Yeah.
When he just passed it back to the goalkeeper. It's like that. But City will recover from it. He's got the mentality to recover.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He's had a couple of iffy games
Yeah,
recently.
yeah, agree.
But I thought he deserves a rest, but maybe he's one of them that tells Wilder, you know, hand up. No, I'm playing.
Yeah, yeah.
Put me in. I'm playing.
Thank you, my mate. Anything else you'd like to say before I let you go?
No, I've got to go, mate, because I'm busy. I'm cleaning up because I've got a surprise visitor coming tomorrow morning, you know. But like my ex, but we can cut that in the edit, can't we?
Yeah, we can cut that. Nobody will hear that. Yeah, nobody will hear that. Nice one, Dave. Thank you for calling, my mate.
Catch up with you soon. Mate.
Top man. Cheers, soon.
Cheers, good night. Bye.
Top man, Dave Morwood. What an absolute legend of the channel. Thanks to him for jumping on again. Appreciated as always. Right, let's just get into some comments that we've not read out yet. Jamie Dumpling was the last one, I think. Oh no, Mr. Vancouver. Unbelievable with a $50 super chat. Thank you, my mate. It's very much appreciated. Very kind of you. He says, hi, Jimmy. I'm proud of the lads today. They battled really well and put their bodies on the line like a proper football team. Up the Blades, up all the Rambles, up the +6. Like and subscribe to the best award-winning Blades content online. Thank you, my mate. Very much appreciated. Yeah, I'm proud of the lads today as well. It makes you... Yeah, we've not won. And that's 3 games now we've not won. But it made you proud today. It made you feel like it were a battling performance. It's more of what we're used to. Nice one, Mr. V, says Bright. Absolutely right. He also says, please like, subscribe, and share the channel. Giving the like button a tap tells YouTube our channel is worth looking into. Help us get to that 12K that we're aiming for. Yeah, Lee and Bald Lee and Batman Lou are trying to start a 12K before May. I think that's a rather ambitious target, if I'm honest. But we've about 670 to go. I think something like that. So if you're watching and you enjoy what we do, then you can subscribe to us. It costs you absolutely nothing just to click that subscribe button and like the video. Thank you very much. Nath says, Jack Robinson ran 60 yards to the referee to get Seriki sent off and then gave a pen away, got booked, conceded to 10 players and hooked at half-time. Life comes at you fast, Robbo. Certainly does. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Seb says, we didn't even see the penalty at the time because there was a Brum fan in our end. We were all looking back to see what was going on. And next thing, Sidney stood over taking a penalty. Great away support too. Always is in Blades End. And I'll back us to the hill. I do proper football with Callum Fowler and Conor McGilligan. You've probably seen it. It's a separate YouTube channel called Proper Football where we cover all the championship. And we recently ranked away fans. And I got laughed at for ranking. Yes, I am a bit biased, obviously. But I ranked Sheffield United fans as the best away fans in the league. They said we were nowhere near. Well, I think they're top 5 or something like that, saying Sheffield Wednesday were best. Unbelievable. Why does Gyro take our kickoffs? Because you'd like him to be in the middle of the park by the time the ball's settled, I would say. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know the full reason, to be honest, Jack. Luke says, just watch the highlights. Never a red and players encroaching on the pen. Standard of the officiating is the worst I've ever seen. Alex says, big summer ahead and we have the best manager for it. Convinced we challenge up the top end of the table, up the Ramble, up the Blades. Mr. Morwood, we're live on the internet. Jack says, 3 of our loan options got some minutes today. Money well spent. Also, is this the team Cal holds so highly? Yes, it is. Them and Wrexham. But that's, his cross to bear, not mine. Without any further ado, I'm going to get our next caller on. Look, if you're after any sort of pallets or anything like that, there's only one person to come to for all your pallet needs. Oh, he's not there. Why have I done that? I get big build up and then I've not even got him in thing. Oh no, what a loser. Yeah. Let's get him on. Let's get him on with... Why didn't that work? Oh, because it's a different link, that's why. Let's do that again. Let's try it again. Just get him on. Hey up, Sonny. How's it going, pal?
Absolutely shocking, honestly. That was such a good introduction.
I know, yeah. Really I know. I'm fade to black straight away. Unbelievable, mate.
Yeah,
so, well, you know what? You're getting with Ramble, don't you? So, you signed up to it, mate. I can only blame you. How are you, pal?
Yeah, not bad. Decent performance to say what position we're in at the start of the first half. I think both lads did very well to say we were a man down. I just think a lot of people saying that they've shown grit, they've shown a drive there. But why are we not showing that against West Brom and Norwich, where we've got an opportunity to do something?
Sonny, I were expecting different from you, mate. I were expecting a really positive sort of, I'm dead chuffed with how we've come back and all this. Honestly, your mood's at minute.
No. I know, he's took it out of me today, I'll be honest. I'm really looking forward to it. Like I said, I just think we could have got something out of this season. But listen, I'm not too distraught about it. I just think fans deserve better. I think we've been through a lot at the start of the season. I thought if we could have maybe had that sort of romantic ending towards it, would have been fantastic. But listen, it is what it is, and like I said, we've got to take the positives out of it and go again. But I think we've got a very good structure to go into next season with, definitely.
I get it, mate. I get it now. I get what's happened here. I think today has been the day that it's hit you, that it's not happening, isn't it, really? So,
yeah.
Rather than it be like a really poor result today, because it wasn't, and I thought the performance it's certainly the best performance out of the last three, but obviously, so I'd have expected you to come on being a bit more chipper about it, but you have been holding out hope that, sometimes if we just win today and some results go our way, then there's maybe a little bit more of a chance. You've held out for longer than most, haven't you, I think, in terms of your positivity, and that's maybe what's kicked you a bit today.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd probably agree. It's just, when you get battered and bruised over the season, and like I said, I've enjoyed it. Like I said, to be fair, honestly, the Ramble community has been absolutely fantastic recently, especially towards me. Being down to QPR, being at home, I've seen Jordan Motzer and Mark Mills a few times as well. Great bunch of
Sorry
lads.
About that. Ramble's not responsible for them too. Can't say anything about that.
I'll tell you what, they get where water can't, honestly. Our hospitality, they were rich.
I know they were. Honestly, mate. Honestly.
No, honestly, great. And to be fair, the reason why I was so chipper about it is because if we could have had them memories for the channel, for the fan base, to get in that, to have a fight towards the end, would have been fantastic. And to be fair, I'm not disappointed with the performance, and I'm not. So don't take it the wrong way.
Yeah.
I just think I've seen 10 players fight for that shirt today. I'm like, where were this against West Brom?
That's right.
Against Norwich?
That's right.
Where was it? Why are we leaving it this late where we had the opportunity to do it? And listen, it is what it is. That's what football's all about. It's ups and downs, but. Yeah, it's frustrated me today, if I'm honest. It really has.
It's a shame, but completely understandable. Because that's where I was, like, post Norwich and post West Brom as well. I were in this sort of headspace where you're like, well, that's it then, isn't it? That's us done for season, and we've got 8 games left. But what I saw today, being a game on from you and sort of having a bit of time to reflect on it, is, well, there's a chance we switch to a 3-5-2 now. In remaining games, I thought we looked really comfortable in that formation. We've talked about it before that our squad is set up for a 3-5-2 still after all this time. We've one winger in squad. We've wing backs in the squad rather than full backs essentially. Seriki, Hoover, McCallum and Burrows are all built to be wing backs for me. We've got enough centre halves to do it. No wingers, as we've said. I think we could go back to a Championship 18-19 formation of 3 at the back, 4 across the middle, including the 2 wing backs. Callum O'Hare in the 10 and 2 up top. And I think we could start to build a team around that, because I thought once we moved to 3 at back today, and I know it were a 3-5-1 essentially because of the sending off, but I thought we looked pretty solid, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jimmy. And I think, like you've just said there, the players we've got available, I think Burrows would thrive at a left wing back, because I don't think defensively that is his strong suit.
Agreed.
Same with Seriki, even though he has developed a lot more defensive acumen this season, and I think he has. I think there is stuff to tweak there, but he's going to be such a great player once he gets that right. And I'll be honest, and I said it at the start of today, and I don't know if you'll agree with me on this, but with Tanganga and Bindon, who I think Bindon's been fantastic. I'm really pleased to say he's overcome that start of the season. But I think from when we had, Anel Suter or Anel Robinson or whoever it were at the back the season before or whatever, I feel like our defence has really, really gone down in quality. And I do, and I'm not trying to throw Tanganga or Bindon or Seriki or Burrows, but I feel like in terms of the defence and how many were conceding and the goals were conceding, and obviously I think the midfield's got a lot to play in that, but I just think We've got no leaders in that.
We're lacking leaders. I was just going to say it's leaders, mate. It's leaders.
It is. And like I said, we are lacking that maturity a little bit in games. And to be fair to Seriki, I don't think it was a red card, but he's just so clumsy at times. So clumsy.
Why give ref decision to make?
Exactly my point. And listen, the kid's got so many positives. The amount of assists he's got this season, him and Brooks worked well down that right. And I agree. I think if we had a three at the back with the wing backs, and especially with our weaker midfielders, if we hadn't got a Riderwell there, and we've got a Rothwell and Peck or an Arblaster and Peck, I think the three accommodates a little bit. So it can maybe work in our hands a bit with what we've got available. Yeah. But I agree. I think. Listen, Wilder's not perfect, but I love him, and I'll stick by him. I'll die on that sword till the day I die. And I think he's right man for the job. He'll see that.
Get off! It's my sword.
Hey, he's mine. He's mine. Get away. He's my Wilder. But no, he'll have seen that today. And I can never say his name right, but Hedge Elder. I think him as a left centre back. I like to look at him. He looks. I don't do that to me. I'm not. I don't do that to me.
Gelder, nice.
I can't say it. You know what I'm saying? You know what? Look at you. I tell you what. Because I've took Wilder spotlight off you for 2 minutes. You're gonna throw me under the bus.
Just thinking about how many T-shirts we could get with a Gelder on it. So, sponsored by Glasby's Pallets.
I'll bow.
Well, I can put them next to the Bosley ones, can't we? That'll be good. So we'll do that.
Oh, that'll be great. Yeah, that'll be all right. That won't it? Yeah.
Sonny,
but no,
top
listen.
Man.
I think it'll work well at three at back. So hopefully we change it round.
Yes, mate. Yeah, I hope so too. When are you back on View from the Mountain?
I don't know. Listen, like I said, I like to get other people on. I love coming on. I love being part of the community as and when I can be. Like I said, you've offered me to come on today. I'm more than willing to. But like I said, I've spoke to Jordan as well about doing maybe a watch along or two.
Yes.
So that might be coming soon. Hopefully, that'd be good. But yeah, listen, I get on with Paul, get on with Joe, I try and get on with you until you throw me on the bus on live. So that'll be coming out. Tell you what, that sponsorship deal might be. No.
No.
No, I'm only joking, pal. But now, listen, if you ever need me on, you know where I'm at. You know,
top man. Cheers, Sonny.
Take care.
Top man.
Take care.
Nice one, you too. Thanks for coming on, mate. Sonny Glasby there for all your pallet needs. Big fan of Leo Gelder. Yeah, me too. And Wilder's mine. So, that's ridiculous. What a ridiculous argument. Top man, Sonny. For those that don't know, Glasby Pallets sponsor both Ramble FC and The Other Side, which is rebranded from Behind the Ramble. So, thank you to Sonny for all his support of the channels. Very much appreciated. Right, where do we get to before I get to my next caller? And make sure you stay around, next caller, because I can see you. And I will get to you. I can't remember where I was. Why does Gyro take our kickoffs? Read that. Great away support. Read that. I haven't read this. I love mine. I did that at the start, didn't I? Sure I did. Well done as ever, Jimmy. Says Bright. Well, you know. Oh, that must have been when I was putting Sonny on and weren't putting him on. Great performance today, says Chris. We should have shown that resilience at Norwich and we would have got a result. Looking forward to next season. We need an Alan Brown or Grimes in the middle of the park. What an interesting shout that is. Alan Brown's been very, very good. Very, very good for Borough on loan from Sunderland. Like him as a player. Be honest, says J&A. Does Adam Davis look any worse than Cooper of this season? No, I don't think so. Good result. A better game for Tanganga. Yeah, better. Evening, Jim. Decent away game today, says Martin. Let's go beat Hollywood FC, then I'll be content for the rest of the season. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Now the season is pretty much over, says Yak. Who do you want renewing contract or loanees to go perm? I would like to sign Hjelde. I would like to sign Binden of the loans that we've got. I could maybe entertain Keanu Hoover if we go into a 3 at the back and he's a wing back. And if we sell Seriki, which I think is a possibility, I would like to renew Gyro Riedeveld. I think that is essential that we do. And obviously then you talk about the players that are on longer term contracts, but I'd like to be renewing. I think we should be discussing with Sidney Peck a new contract. Femi Seriki, Andre Brooks, get them lifted, get them longer. And you know, there'll be clauses in for releases anyway, so it don't mean they stay till the end of the deals, but that's what I'll be looking to do. Jimmy, are you ready for Spurs and Blades? Playoff final next season. No, I'm never ready for a playoff final, but I'm a Sheffield United fan, that's why. 3-5-2 killed us in the Prem once teams sussed us out, so I can't see the point of leaning into that formation if we aspire to go up. We look better at 4-4-2 this season. I disagree, and I think you've got to play to the strengths of your squad. And just because we've been... I think it's cyclical football, and just because it hasn't worked in a certain period of time doesn't mean it wouldn't work again quite well here. Like you say, we need leaders, like we had Egan, George, Jack, says James. Yeah. Will we see Seriki play again in a Blades shirt? Yeah, we will, pal. There's 8 games to go, and he's only banned for 3 of them. So yes, we will, definitely, in my opinion. Right, next caller, waiting patiently. You may have seen him very recently. I think you're muted though, pal, your end, so we'll see if that can get sorted out. And he's unmuted now. So, without any further ado, you may have seen him on the watch along with me last night. You may know him as Holly from the Dwarf, or you may know him as Rich. How's it going, pal?
All right, mate. You?
Yes, not bad, thank you. How was work?
Well, I didn't. I'm intrigued to see what I've got back, and I listened to about the first half an hour.
Okay, of the game.
Okay, and I was like, as soon as Sidney Peck missed that penalty, I was like, right.
Really?
Right, yeah.
Back in.
I was not a happy bunny. And then by the sounds of it, from listening to everybody that I've
switched it off.
Yeah, I had to switch it off. I couldn't leave it on,
mate.
But I was, I wasn't right happy. So I'm relying on you, Jimmy, because I trust you.
Don't be you try buttering me up now.
And I know that you've watched it.
I have watched it. There's 100% that I have watched it. Yeah.
The questions are: is Seriki's was Seriki a sending off?
No,
because when I was listening to the Radio Sheffield bit,
thanks for watching the watch along.
Sorry, I can't. I had to listen to it in secret, Jimmy.
You're a platinum rambler. Where's the support for your boy?
It's the subscription.
You're supposed to watch it as well and enjoy what we're doing, rather than just. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, you can chastise me later.
Oh, will you? In the group that you never look at.
Because because apparently Bindon was on the cover. So
he was on the cover. That's exactly my point. In my opinion, Seriki's challenge was a foul. Undoubtedly, it was a foul. Don't give the referee a choice of giving you a red card. But Bindon was the covering defender who was level or very close to being level with Seriki. So he wasn't stopping. Bindon was there as sort of cover.
So do we reckon it could get appealed?
It could. I'm not sure it will. I think Russ were right in saying if it goes to VAR, is it strong enough to overturn? And I think sometimes if there's it's more like it's I think VAR it's not beyond all reason. It's got to be beyond all reasonable doubt, isn't it, rather than balance of probabilities.
Yeah.
So that's the way I would assess it, to be honest, pal. So yeah, I don't think it was a red, but I don't think it necessarily will be appealed or would get overturned on appeal.
And then when I was coming out of the game and coming out of work and seeing that Bamford's rescued us with an equaliser again, and then I'm looking at seeing Tom Davis has made an appearance.
Yep.
So, and by all accounts,
there was a Tom Davis sighting at St Andrews.
So Lee has to readjust his.
He does, yeah.
And so. And from what you're saying and what I've listened to since coming back in, you lot seem to be cock-a-hoot with the performance and change of formation.
I just think you play with you play with 10 men for 70 minutes, and you're 1-0 down at that stage. And we've not only that, there's the context around it where we've played poorly against West Brom, we've played very poorly against Norwich as well. And the headspace that you must be in at that stage to be a goal down and a man down, and you know that your playoff hopes are done, pretty much 99% done. Where do you get it from? It was so unexpected to get the impetus to to go again, and we did. We hung in the game. We rightly equalised. I thought it was a great finish by Bamford. It was a lovely ball over from Burrows as well. And then second half, we weathered the storm, and they hit the woodwork 4 times. They hit the post twice and the crossbar twice, which sounds extreme, but I don't think they were head and shoulders better than us, even at 11v10. So, I were really proud of them tonight. I thought they showed a lot of heart and determination and desire to get something from the game, which is something that we haven't seen from him in the last couple of games. So this is why Sonny's just been on now and said, and he's been disappointed because he's held on to hope for longer than most. And he's like, well, it's frustrating. Yeah, I know, but it's frustrating because we know they can do that. And that's what we've been saying. Why, where was that against West Brom and QPR? Because we know the players have got that in the locker. So, I'm proud of the performance today. It's not enough, and it's not been enough this season. But I think we've come to that conclusion. But
does going to 3 at the back now? Obviously, it was 10 men. Do you think it looks? Does it's like the sort of Egan Basham bit? Do you think it complements Tanganga and Bindon?
Well, Tanganga was the middle of the 3,
right?
So Bindon went on the right, and Hjelde went on the left, or Hjelde, as he's now going to be known, thanks to Sonny.
Yeah.
And I think that was a lovely little balance, to be honest. I think that, Tanganga is more mobile than John Egan was, but he's not necessarily that physically imposing and things like that. So I thought it were a lovely little... I think it balances the team to our strengths a lot better. So you looked at that, the way we were set up, and every player was playing in their optimal position, really, at that stage. I don't necessarily mean Tanganga per se in terms of, he's probably better in the right of a 2.
Yeah.
But in terms of Hoover is a wing back, he played right wing back. Burrows was a left wing back. We had Brooks shifted to a left centre midfielder. Davis was able to be a little bit of a deeper centre midfielder. Sidney Peck was on the right of the midfield. It just had a real nice balance to it that felt more natural to a lot of the players. So that's why I think we should certainly entertain it going forward. I'm not saying we must play 3 at the back because we were so good. It's just something that we've sort of flirted with on the channel and said we've still got the squad for a 3-5-2. Brooks is our only winger in the squad.
My worry with going when Disney FC turn up is if we have 3 at the back. So arguably, the negative fans would turn around and say 5 at the back with the wing backs. Is that
It can be either, because we were 5 at the back out of possession, which is fine. But in possession, Hoover and Burrows were bombing forward.
Yeah, at home, is that because where the original, Duffy role and the Jack O'Connell overlapping, you're not going to get Bindon and Helder overlapping, are you?
No, you're not, and it wouldn't be that sort of way of doing it. I think what would happen is they'd expect, say we play with a similar formation, to similar personnel to tonight. You've got Bamford up top, probably with, well, you compare him with anybody after tonight, couldn't you? But say with Campbell. So Bamford and Burrows and Brooks might be the 3 on the left-hand side. And then the back, the defenders shift over and Hjelde becomes the left back while we're further up the pitch. Bindon and Tanganga, and then Hoover drops in. And then when it shifts to the other side, Burrows drops in at left back, Hjelde drops in, and Hoover's further up the pitch with Siddy and Campbell, and sort of doing that sort of interaction there. So that's the triangle of going forward, because you've got 2 strikers on. You can't forget that as well. So I know what you're saying about being less. But we never interpreted it as a defensive formation. I think it is whatever you want it to be and interpret it to be. So
yeah, because I suppose if you're under the cosh and everything else, you can have that solidity of having 5 at the back, and then arguably you've got 4 in midfield, and then an attacking midfielder can sort of drop back, i.e. like Callum could do that quite easily enough.
Or if you're winning the game, in the Premier League, we went to a flat 3 across the middle, didn't we? So if you're winning the game, you could bring Blaster on for O'Hare and then have a much more balanced midfield and have much more control in the middle. Or you bring off a striker and you bring a midfielder on and you've still got 1 striker up top, O'Hare behind him, and then 3 behind them. So I think it offers you a lot more options, in my opinion. And I'm quite, again, I'll say it again because it just seems a little bit like I'm not like I won't sleep tonight because I'm that excited about it. But I'm interested to see if he now adopts that as an option for us, because we've got time to experiment now going into the new season.
And that's the good thing about it. But then we need to highlight the players who are committed to it, who are going to be here next season. Because there's no point in doing that when arguably Seriki would go, Brooks would go. If those players are earmarked for bringing in a little bit of cash, we're gonna. There's no point in sort of not playing them. That sounds awful, but it's the mobility on that right hand side is going to be gone, really, isn't it? So
it is. But I think that there's still a strong chance that because Gus is available now for the next game, that he just goes back to a 4-2-3-1. So it's interesting to see what he'll do. But
I hope not. I think
I'd like to see something different.
I think Gus actually probably plays better in the formation because he's not having to defend as much.
I agree. I think he could be the Duffy that goes to either side and joins in, couldn't he? So
right. Well,
thank you, my mate.
Thank you for giving me the lowdown.
No problem. Anyway, anytime, my mate. And always good to speak to you. And I'll catch up with you soon.
Likewise, mate. Take care,
mate. See you
soon.
So, top man, Rich joining us. As I said, joined me for the Wrexham watch along last night for his first watch along, which were great. Right, let's just finish off with your comments then, and then we'll wrap up. So, where did I get to again? Like you said, we need leaders. Yak says everyone's saying Hamer leaving and Peck leaving, but I don't think Peck will actually. I think Tanganga will go to whoever wins the playoffs. We'll be very lucky to keep him. Interesting. Is it definitely a 3-game ban, or 1 as last man, or 3 for violent conduct? For a straight red card, I believe it's a 3-match ban, James. But I mean that'll get confirmed later, I'm sure. Justin Wilder's post-match come out fighting, backing the players, not happy with the criticism of them. Credit to him, in my opinion. Yeah, absolutely right. He's right to back him. I don't know who's criticising him tonight. Is it maybe sort of doubling down on what he said on the pre-match, where people are doubting this team's fight and desire? Maybe he's done a bit of that, which is fair because they have shown it tonight, haven't they? Nate says, I'm sure Seriki is a 1-match ban as it was for last man back, not violent conduct or a dangerous tackle, which results in a 3-game ban. So just missing for Wrexham, but it wasn't a red card anyway, but 1 game. Okay, Nate, fair dues. As I say, I'm not 100% sure. Blades 375 Alex says, stuck on a train near Wakefield. I'm in Wakey, for those that don't know. Not moving, but watching the Ramble. Beer in hand, on we go. Win, lose or draw, we'll still come back for more. Top man, mate. Yak says, how many goals in the Wrexham game this time then? How many goals in the Wrexham game this time? Oh, for us against Wrexham. We'll have to wait and see. We'll do a countdown to kick off for all that. Carl says, as popular as Bindon and Tanganga have been, I still think we need a couple of units at the back. Certainly 1. For me, Tanganga's too short and perpetually off balance. Nice word. And Bindon is built like a blown up bootlace. Okay, interesting. 3 at the back going forward, 5 at the back when defending on a 3-5-2, says James. That's what he'd prefer to see. Excuse me. 1-match ban for a Dogso red card, says Ian. Thank you very much. So I stand correct. I sit corrected. We are slightly early tonight, but we are getting a flyer because we've got through all the comments. We've got through all the callers. Thank you to everybody that's joined me tonight. I'm pleased with the performance, I have to say. I'm proud to be a Blade. I always am anyway. We sometimes get disappointed, don't we? But it's nice to know that these players do care. I think there's been some doubt about their desire, not consciously, because obviously, but sometimes it's easy to say it and you show it in your actions, and that's exactly what they've done tonight. So I'm really proud of how they've played, putting a performance in. I get people like Sonny's View as well saying, well, where were that for the last 2 games before this? But it's one of them things, isn't it? So, so we will be back tomorrow for 3 Mardy Blades. And then next week is a really busy week. I think when I'm going to start doing it, we're a suggestion for one of our Platinum Ramblers. I'm going to start putting schedules up so people know where to catch us, what we're on at what times and stuff like that, because we are busy at the moment and 3 channels running. People I don't want anybody to struggle in keeping up. So if you can have a little bit of a schedule, I'll try and put that together for people. Chef Paul just says, as fans, we're frustrated about the inconsistency of the performances. Imagine how Wilder feels. He doesn't have much hair left to pull out. No, he doesn't. That's fair as well, pal. Right. Thank you to everyone. Stick with us. Stick with the Blades. And, we've come this far, haven't we? Can't give up now. Come on, you red and white wizards. Of the Blades!